How's it going, folks? Welcome back to another video on this channel. First, I have missed you guys. Oh my god, I have missed being on my PC. I was just on my phone all the time. Today, I'm bringing you new leaks, upcoming banners, banner art. This is going to be relatively short, and I didn't even plan on making a leak video, but something caught my eye that is probably, just guessing, is going to be the third legendary lord, and have proof to back it up. Okay, let's get it. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Now, something I do want to briefly mention before we get into the video is that the reason I didn't upload leaks was because Mystico was doing it, and I will leave the link in the description. I'll briefly mention what he also mentioned as well. He's going more in depth, and it's kind of like outdated compared to these. However, he basically mentioned all the leaks that are going to be coming in April. So first things first, let's get into, so we're all on the same boat, right? Let's get into the upcoming banners, which is this, as you can see over here. We have all the banner dates for April, and we had Stadium Elvira. As you can see, this is relatively old. We had Stadium Elvira. We also had Gonardia, we mentioned that as well. We have Xenobrok here on Divines. This did not mention that, I just said blues. And we have a Nyx for April Fools. Last year it was Nyx Aspan, which really Nyx Absan, that caught many people off guard as why people were doing that. As you can see, we're just blazing through this. We have Fenris Magda. We will get to it. If you want to see Fenris's kit, right, it basically summed up its legendary version of Maul, but our boy Mystico, again link in the description, has an in-depth guide on his kit. Go ahead and check it out. And then, of course, we have on 5th of April, we have a Praetus Uridan banner that I think everybody knew was coming. Now that we're all on the same boat, let's get to the upcoming units and the actual new leaks. The first one is going to be the banner art for the Nyx Zaris that I mentioned before. And yeah, it's just, there's nothing much to it. Last year was Nyx Aspan, as I mentioned. Aspan, doesn't matter.
Aspan is F tier.
Now it's Zaris, and it's kind of actually cute that we have two common bucket units coming together. Usually it's a rare bucket and a common bucket, but now we have two common bucket units. And then after that we have Fenris Magda, which is this, how this looks. Now I'm really confused on how a centaur is going to fit on top of a tile, considering this guy is a marksman. However, if they're gonna fit him, good for them, right? This is going to be the Fenris Magda. And we also have a shit ton of unconfirmed banners that are probably concept arts for future banners. And also I have a guess before we get to the main part of the video, which is going to be the next banner we're going to show you. And I'm guessing there's going to be a Valeria banner soon. And probably, my guess is it's going to be alongside Numera, which, in case you missed, I'm probably going to show the banner art somewhere on the screen. Was basically what was announced by Destin like 5-6 months back, and basically it looks like the Yovar chick. It's a piercer fighter, and we know it's gonna run along Valeria. The reason I think that's the case is because recently we had a Brokir Xena banner, meaning that Brokir is not gonna have a banner for at least a solid 2 months. And we know a Valeria banner is coming because we have a skin in development I showed you in the last leaks video. Meaning that Valeria, for the first time, is going to get a banner without Brokir. And it's probably going to be Valeria Numera, but I could be wrong. That's my just my guess, right? But we also have a bunch of concept arts that I'll probably show you on the screen. I'll put it somewhere. Now that that's out of the way... Now, with that out of the way, let's get to the main thing that I want to talk about today. So I just brief through and rush through all of this just to get to this one, because we have a lot of talk about this one, and that's going to be this banner. Now, if some of you, this might be like familiar to you, right? If you if you don't recall this, let me just show you this. If you remember, this is the concept art for her, right? If you still don't remember, when Rygar wasn't confirmed and everyone was saying like Ardia's daddy and stuff, they were calling him, Destin proposed 2 different units that we had concept arts for. One of them was Rygar, the other was this. Now I don't know her name, right? Probably people in the comment section will help you out. If you know this, again, if you have solid information about this, I will confirm it and then pin your comments if that's true. But this, honestly, I don't know her name, but this was speculated to be a lord. So first things first, this was already speculated to be a lord. Second thing, right? This is an ancient banner because we have Sargak. Sargak is an ancient exclusive. We know that, right? Now, this is my main point of argument, right? From the day Watch Our Throne started, all the ancient banners have always been an ancient lord, not an ancient exclusive lord, just a lord, right? And the units. Now, there are some exceptions to that, and there are two, basically. There are two exceptions to that. First one is the Laia Twin Fiend that we had a while back, right? The other is Ingrid Demi. In both cases, it's either both ancient exclusive or just both common lords, so Laia Twin Fiend and Ingrid Demi. But what we know is that from the day the game started, I don't recall, I've asked so many people, and I don't recall any banners not featuring a lord. This is an ancient banner, right? Because we have Sargak. All of them have a lord. There are two units in this banner. One of them is a Sargak. Sargak is a normal unit, meaning that this has to be a lord. This unit doesn't exist. What's her name? I have no clue. We had concept art and we thought that she's going to be the ancient exclusive lord for the Nightmares until Rygar came along. She's speculated to be a lord. In this banner, they're either going to break their tradition that they've been holding up for 1.5 years, or this is a lord. And thirdly, it makes sense for it to be a lord. Remember, the most amount of money the game makes is from ancients, and not the ancient units, the ancient lords. So adding more power creeps, there was also this video from Fastidious that expected a new upcoming power creep. This is probably that power creep. Now, what is she going to be? Some speculations. From here on out, take this with a grain of salt. These are just my speculations. Firstly, she's definitely a chaotic. Look at her. Her eyes are gouged out, as you can see, and her stomach is just messed up with this magical rune, right? Look at the concept art. She's bloody as hell. She's probably the most chaotic looking chaotic unit out there, right? Secondly, she's not carrying any weapons, right? Sargak at least has a spear. Everybody else has some kind of bow, or spear, or javelin, or whatever, right? She's not a marksman. She's not a fighter. She doesn't have an instrument of fighting, and I don't think she's gonna fight with claws. Even Lord P, who has crazy claws, fights with a dagger. The only exceptions I can find to that are probably like Deimos. She can't exactly defend. She doesn't look like a defender, and she sure as hell doesn't look like a healer, right? So my guess is that she's going to be a mage, which makes sense. She looks like a mage. She's going to be a chaotic. She's going to be a mage, right? And the second faction, there's going to be a second faction in my opinion. So she's not going to be a chaotic lord. My guess is that she's going to be a dual faction, a lord of a faction, and in dual membership in chaotics. What is the second faction that she's a lord of? My guess is 70% she's going to be an infernal, 30% that she's going to be a nightmare. Why? Because of this thing in her chest, in her stomach, abdomen, whatever, right? You see this? This gem is the eye, the infernal eye, right? Many people know the infernal eye, the intricate pattern on Pyros. I'll probably put it on the screen. But basically, it was the pattern that was designed for infernals, right? And then they suddenly decided to give a last minute to the Nightmares before the game launched. And now some people like Pyros still have the Nightmare emblem on their chest, right? Now people like Lord P also hint at this, right? They don't have it, they just hint with their design. They have similar stuff on them. The main thing is that she also has it, and it looks very similar. Twin Fiend also has it, by the way. Twin Fiend has it on his staff. I'll probably also put that on the screen. But as you can see, this has an infernal eye, right? This leads me to believe that there is a 70% chance that she's going to be an infernal. If not, she's going to be a nightmare. And the reason behind that is because nightmares, people were screaming for non-fighter nightmares, which I don't exactly agree with, but that's people have been doing that. And Moonton actually listened and released Yuri. We have a new marksman. And for a long time, we don't have any mages, any legendary mages for the Nightmares. So this would make sense to suddenly just have a mage, right? So that also makes sense. Take what you will from this, but I'm guessing that she's probably going to be released soon, right? We had a Sargak banner with who? Like last time we had a Sargak banner, I forgot. It was quite recent, like a few months ago. But definitely, Sargak hasn't been too recent, so we can definitely get this, right? The banner art is complete, so we're definitely going to see her soon. When, I have no idea. My guess is probably April or maybe May, right? But honestly, it's up to Moonton. They might even throw it back, similar to how they did with Numero Valeria. However, know that this is probably going to be the third Lord. Again, for 3 reasons. Firstly, Moonton makes a lot of money with this. Secondly, it was speculated that she's going to be a Lord. And thirdly, because, and the strongest argument, is because we've never had an ancient banner without a Lord. And in this, we have Sargak, which is not a Lord, and an unknown unit. So this unknown unit must be a Lord. Thank you all for watching. Take what you will from this, and definitely link in the description. Definitely check out Mystico's video. My man has been working hard. And also definitely, if you want to get these leaks, because these leaks have been on the Discord server for like a week, right? And I just didn't really think much about it until I actually noticed this. So if you want to get leaks earlier on, whenever I get them, I will put them in the announcement tab on my Discord server. Definitely join, link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss out the next leaks if I ever do release them. And yeah, yeah, have a good one.